everyone, this is Peter. I'm sure some of you are wondering why in the world am I doing this vertically? Um, well, YouTube is kind of being a dick, and whatever it is they chose to do to their app, without my knowledge or consent, basically, this is what's going on. So this happened during the live stream today before the show, and apparently that's the case now too. I checked a little bit early beforehand, but at this point, there's nothing I can do about it. So I don't know. We'll just roll with this today, and then hopefully next time it'll go back to the way it was. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to a lot of you. It is 11 p.m. Japan Standard Time. And once again, I'm looking at myself also on my computer, and man, I really wish this was horizontal. Anyway, let's get started. Hey, what is up, J Music fan? So I got back from tonight's Okyuji at Kenmin Hall in Kanagawa. I'm not gonna lie, bit under the weather. Today's humidity was close to 90%, 89% last time I saw on the way back home, and totally despise humidity. So yeah, I gotta say, I wasn't actually feeling the best. And then to compile that with just how my foot has been, ugh. Ah, thank you so much. I guess the vertical thing is good because you guys can see my shirt a little bit better. Main News Network in the chat, that is SJ. Cheers to you. So even though it's 11 p.m. and I have here in my hand a zero sugar monster, that's how tired I am, to be honest. I was feeling pretty exhausted on the way there, and on the way back. So I'll do what I can, I'll do my best, and I hope you guys will stick with me throughout all this. Okay. Hey, what's going on, Steen? I hope everyone is doing well. Um, this is a review of tonight's show. It is the third of three. Hello, Jim. It is the third of three shows for their hall tour. Nothing extravagant or excessive or really anything particularly out of the ordinary. There was no, and there is no particular like. Hey, what's going on, Patrick? Kai. There is no particular like. Holy cow! You know, there are no there are no holy cows here, but it's still a bandmate show, and I mean they even on cruise control, they definitely are above quite a few bands. I would say that tonight's show from previous shows, if I were to say, is this one of the best? No. Was it a good show? Yes. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Did I have moments where I was moved? Yes. Did I have moments where I was headbanging and singing along? Yes. So now this was the last of the hall tour shows. There were three. One was in Nagoya. The other was Osaka, which was last week, Friday. So is that technically last week? Or 2 weeks ago? I guess 2 weeks ago. And then, yeah, today's show. So it was my first of those three because I can only go on the weekends. Now, the place itself, it's pretty large. It's right next to a park. The water's right there. About a 10-minute walk from the station to the venue. So my foot definitely didn't appreciate it, especially on the way back because I was rushing. But you know, people are just hanging around everywhere, inside, outside, on the steps, just all around. I mean, you really felt like they were just kind of hanging out during the day, just enjoying themselves. The only time that you really got a sense that we're here all together was when we were doing a group photo, which has sort of become the norm in Japan. The standard is to take these massive group photos of at least, I don't know, man. I think we're going upwards of close to 200 people like per shot. Um, so yeah, so Mike, and I think this is something that I talked about with the other admins of Bandmade Fans Cafe, and I think maybe just in general. But I would say that after the last 2 years, 2023, 2022, and 2023 especially, with the 10th year anniversary tour, I mean, just flying back and forth to Japan and America, and it takes its toll. It takes its toll. As much as you may love being a musician, you may love like creating and performing and just love the energy, like it physically takes its toll. And I do think the Mays decided at this juncture in their career and at this time, rather than trying to sort of take these quick steps, take a lot of quick steps, is take these more longer strides. Which is why I think they settled more on doing the collaborations, whether it be with Incubus, with The Warning, doing just a few shows. You know, this year you had the acoustic set, you had the spin-off Okyuji from Yokohama, you had the Day of May show, and then you had these three shows. And then, as was announced, which I'll get into a little bit later again as well, as was announced, there's going to be another spin off show, and there will also be a ZEP tour, just four, Nagoya, Osaka, and two at ZEP Haneda, I believe. I don't think I'll be able to attend any of those shows except for the spin off because it's during my break. So but all right, don't ask me questions because I lose track very, very quickly. My brain has gotten about this small. So listen up, just follow along, and yeah, there won't be any other like overseas shows unless somebody in Hong Kong decides to say, "Hey, here's a lot of money, bandmate. Can you guys throw in one show at the end of the year randomly and surprise us all?" I talked about that with Marshall, Mr. 3D figure himself, who sat next to me because he bought my extra ticket. Um, Going into the show itself, people really took their time, just kind of strolled in because there was seating. So there was no rush to kind of get into be wherever you wanted to be. Um, I did get in, but then I figured, well, there is still time. It's only like what 5:10, 5:15. So I bought a couple of Kujis, just a couple, and I got a badge and a keychain, which I guess is better than a sticker, but my luck is still horrible. Yeah, different people get so much good stuff. Oh, I should do this now also before I forget. Um, Brian from Hawaii. I also gave him an extra ticket, which was provided by Vladimir Chupin. Vladimir, thank you. And he gave me a nice little gift package. And this is also from Hawaii, which is kind of funny because Kurt from Hawaii got me one of these too. So if you're from Hawaii, please feel free to drop me a gift package. And I love macadamia nuts, chocolate covered or otherwise, is great. It also had some pineapple gummies, which I ate like 10 of them because I was hungry. These taste so good, they're so sweet. Um, I forgot his name. I'm so sorry, but you may have seen these keychains, Twitter or otherwise. Maybe he's on Discord, but this is really nice. Um, these were originally drawn by who was this drawn by? What was I'm forgetting names. Was it Nana? I think it was Mokumi. Yeah, Mokome. So, but turned into keychains. And then Tony, who always pulls through. Gosh, this is Tony from Hong Kong. And actually, these are from Numu, who made these really cool little postcards. And he had 5 envelopes with the maids' names. I chose Misa's, and I had this on the back. So I love his stuff. He got me one also which was also Misa last time. Even though I have gotten over like my massive Misa crush, which I had, for ages and ages. Um, and even today, like during the show, like I didn't feel drawn to her, the way I used to, but it's still nice. Just I don't know. She's always sort of my go-to. And then Tony, who it's amazing what he makes. But yeah, he made these little postcards with the photo. Um, bunch of hey Chris, what's going on? Sorry Kevin, hey. Little wristbands. SJ, I'll save one for you. And then this is really cool. Hold on. After this, I'll get into the show itself. But this one was really cool. Hey, what's going on, Justin? Yeah. And then, hold on a second. One last thing. Or a couple of last things. Oh, as I'm looking, and opening, these were passed out at the end of the show. For those who haven't heard, the title of Bandmaid's latest album is called Epic Narratives, which is so different. It's such a different vibe from their other album titles. It doesn't feel, even though it's epic, it doesn't feel as big as Unseen World, World Domination, Conqueror, Just to Bring It. It's interesting. It's a different feel. Yeah. So Epic Narratives drops 9/25, September 25th. Again, I'll come back to this. If you look at the bottom, and there are QR codes if you want to stop and scan. These are the shows lined up for ZEP in November. You have 2 at the beginning and then 2 at the end, back to back. So if you guys don't have family for Thanksgiving dinner, or you don't really care too much for your family for Thanksgiving get together, then you can come out to Japan for these shows. And then on the back is this. So I got a few of these, but there's only probably enough for people that I am intimate with. Yeah. All right, so here's the last little thing that Tony made, and I do have an extra SJ, so don't worry, you got yours. So it's a cool little keychain, kind of crystalline, and then you turn it, and it lights up, and then the color also changes. So that's kind of cool. Wait for the color. There you go. I think purple's coming up. Maybe purple. Or green again. Anyway. Okay. So, yeah, really grateful. I really should start making something, doing more stuff again. Like I used to, at least just like postcards and whatever else. But just, yeah, man, it's hard to just get back into the groove of things, and having moved, a lot of stuff changes. So, yeah, again, thank you, Tony. Thank you, Brian. Just everyone, Numu, everyone who contributes to, I think, just the Bandmaid pool, that pool of swag. That could be a band name, Pool of Swag. Yes, they definitely had seats. I was grateful for the seats today because, for those of you who have been following, my foot has been in pain. It's no longer sprained, but there's still like some fluid buildup, and it's just causes my foot to swell quite a bit. Now, onto the show. I was first floor, 14th row, 53. Marshall, I gave him, it was 54. And we weren't too far from the stage, 14th row back. Had a good view of everyone. And the sound, I will say that it was a bit booming. And to be honest, it's hard for me to say that I have the most I can't say that my ears have the highest fidelity anymore. They're not quite what they used to be. So I think because my own personal EQ is off, I don't know if I'm always accurate. But from where I was sitting and how I was hearing things, it was a bit booming. The vocals were slightly lower in the mix. Um, Kanami sometimes felt a little bit, uh, just a little not sharp, a little bit too trebly. Um, the mid felt a little bit too high at times, but that's probably just where I was sitting in my ears. But overall, it was fine. I did hear, again, the stuff and no big issues. Now, I had seen images, photos of the set dressing of the stage, ever since back from Nagoya, and I thought that's interesting. Seeing sort of the tower, which is a continuation of what they did with Yokohama Arena, and Psyche kind of explained it, is this tower that's been building. Basically, it's really Bandmaid's career, Bandmaid as a band, and just the community building and building. But there's also this community. There is also like other buildings, and it's not just the tower itself, and it's still building. It's still going upward. It's still going upward. Um, and I think thematically, that's what their intent is. Visually was interesting because it looked like a combination of like the base of Eiffel Tower plus what maybe one of the art designers would have done for Coruscant, um, for the prequels. So it was a little bit of combination of that with the lighting and how intricate the art was. It was also interesting, which I never noticed. Well, I did notice actually on the others on the sides, like on top are these banners, and it has the circle and it has the bow in the middle, but on these banners on the side hanging down. And it was interesting. Like, this sounds weird, but the first thing I thought was, oh, Third Reich. It felt slightly European, I think, generally with the banners. And then also on the floor, which I never noticed until today being there, was they also had lampposts. They had four lampposts, two in the front, two in the back. And it gave for an interesting vibe, but it was weird because the banners felt a little bit more royal. The lampposts felt more like, I don't know, Victorian period London outside. Um, so that was interesting. And then you have that like sort of mix of Eiffel Tower plus like sci-fi. So it was interesting. It was interesting. It didn't fully work for me, but it was a cool effort to do something different, which I appreciated. Um, Throughout the show, though, the tower disappeared, and then sometimes it had the shape of the tower, sometimes it was just a full background. And during the midsection, which was mid tempo, you actually had this like constant movement. It was like up this parallax um, movement, and at certain points, I was like, I wish it would stop. It got me not motion sickness, but maybe. So it was really interesting. Um, some things visually were cool, some things visually didn't work for me. And I think with that, some of the background, it felt like it wasn't quite what I feel like it needed to be. That's me. Um, yeah. Going into the song list itself, nothing new, nothing surprising, nothing that just sort of stunned you, except, and this is more personally, which I was incredibly grateful for, is that I got to hear one of my all-time favorite songs. Uh, and let me see, here we go, which is NonFiction Days. Hey, Hado, it's good seeing you today. Now, I'm going to run through the list real quickly, and then I'll kind of go through some of the highlights. Um, so 23 songs, it was 2 hour, 15 minutes, including the MC time. Started with No God, Play, Unleash, Domination. Quick little MC time. Then you had Dice, NonFiction Days, which, I'll talk about this maybe a little bit more later, but just there was this honeymoon period, and I think some people are still in it. I am no longer, admittedly, I have to admit, but where everything was just like, what's that word? Um, what's that drink that the gods drink? Honey, and then what's that drink? Pro Bro, ambrosia. Like everything was ambrosia. Milk and honey. So nonfiction days is just one of those songs that just always gets me. And then followed by Don't You Tell Me. Yes, too late. Don't You Tell Me with their battle, which is also great to hear. Then you had Hate, also with the battle. You had Afterlife, From Now On, Sense. Then you have MC time. Then you went into this sort of this mid-tempo section, and this is where the background didn't quite work for me the way that it was moving. It was kind of like it was taking you through the town, through the area, like at the bottom, at the base of the tower. It's kind of going through these buildings and whatnot, and it just, I don't know, it just made me sort of go, whoa, okay, stop. But you had Bestie, Daydreaming, YOLO, Endless Story, Choose Me, Brightest Star, Shambles, and in front of Shambles, which I believe they may have done also in the previous shows as well, but they had this intro with Akane and then Misa and Miku, which is kind of an unusual little triad of sorts, musically, to do that combination. But it was cool. And then to go into Shambles itself, which I think is a really good song. I think it's one of their stronger songs off of their album coming up. Then you had Protect You, Alone, Different, Magie. It's going on, Ellen. Good to see you. Magie, Influencer, and a battle between, instead of going straight into that bass solo, that slap solo that Misa does, and then just going straight into Kanami's solo, which is usually like the song, they extended it quite a bit, and it really felt like a rumble in the Bronx. Like it was just bloody, just brawling, just bare-fisted knuckles. Like it was kind of wild, and it was cool because I don't think I've ever seen Misa do this. But right before she went into the slap, she threw her bass into the crowd. That'd be awesome. She threw her pick into the crowd, not her bass, which I don't know. That'd be cool. But then what would she play with? um, so yeah, she threw her pick into the crowd, went straight into slapping, and it was just a lot of back and forth. I've never seen that before. And then at the very end, it got wrapped up with a clip. Lasted like a minute and a half. It is online now. I think they dropped it at the same time they did at the show. Um, it's yeah, it's massive. And then they dropped all the news. So the new album coming out September 25th, Epic Narratives. They actually show different clips of the songs that will be on the album, which I think most of us knew, or at least it was something that I knew. Um, and I'm sure most of us did. But you had a spin-off, which is August 30th, and that is one that I will definitely be going to. It is at Spotify O East. And again, it's on my holiday, so I can go to that. I already applied for the ticket, and then the four dates for Zep, which are, I believe, November 2nd, 3rd, and then 25th, 26th. So, okay, let's go into sort of my personal experience now. Things that I noticed, things that I noted, things that I enjoyed. Um, let's see here. So yeah, No God, Play, Unleash, Domination, that was all fine. Um, yeah, like there's a holiday on the 23rd, but it means nothing because it's on a weekend. And then quick MC, there was Dice, and then NonFiction Days, Don't You Tell Me, and it was really nice. I never mean to be or want to be that guy like, oh, those good old days. But I realized that is kind of my perspective and where I've kind of come to when it comes to the songs that Bandmate has released. Uh, and I'll talk about this more a little bit later, but when I think about the songs that they've released in the past year, um, year and a half, versus the songs that introduced me to Bandmate and that I listened to like when I first like found them, um, there's almost no comparison. So nonfiction days hit that little nostalgia button that just it just moves me, and I was just like, yes, yes, like just yes, yes, yes. It's for someone who is aging and well aware of the fact that I'm losing awareness and consciousness and like memory. Nonfiction days is such a sweet song to just fall back on, and as I'm listening to the song, like I go back to seeing the video, them on the beach, the fire, and just that sweeping camera, you know, just such a good song, such a great song, in every way, and it's so memorable. It's so iconic. And then Don't You Tell Me, another nostalgic song. Hate was great, but I do miss that Dice Hate combo. Hearing Hate by itself versus what they used to do, like last year with Dice and Hate, like it loses some of its epicness. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that's how I feel. Um, and then with Afterlife, great song to hear. Um, Not my favorite off of Unseen World, but I enjoy it. From now on, from now on is always me looking. So seasoned the CD. I don't know. Is it bonus CD or is it the bonus Blu-ray? Because the Blu-ray is the Day of Made show. Seasoned. Okay, hold on. Actually, I'm gonna. Yeah, Day of Made. Okay, seasoned. Shoot, I think I read it, but I don't want to lose track. So that was great to hear those songs and Bestie. Yeah, it's so funny. Even though like I love Bestie, hearing it, it's not even in my top 10 or top 20 bandmate songs. Like I listened to it nonstop when it dropped, and I do enjoy hearing it and singing it, but it's strange. I love the song, but it's not in my top bandmate songs. I don't know if that makes sense at all. Um, yeah, and then Daydreaming is always good to hear. YOLO is always good to hear. They did Endless Story, Choose Me. So they were kind of going back to, I think, a lot of their classics, and then throwing in some of the newer stuff. So yeah, Bestie absolutely is. Brightest Star, it's a fine song, but it doesn't get me the way as Hell Nakidori did, or Rockin' Me did, or Time did. Um, yeah, a lot of the previous Miku songs. Shambles, I do enjoy it. I think it's a great live song. I think Shambles does really well live, and it produces a lot of energy. Um, then you have Protect You, and I'm gonna be point blank. Protect You doesn't do anything for me. I tried listening to it a few times when the video dropped, even when it had the audio, and I'm not a big fan of the La 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 intro. Um, and like again, it's a fine song. It's it's a fine song. It's it's adequate as a bandmate song, but it really it just doesn't grab me like at all. Like I haven't felt like any inclination to listen to it again. And even after tonight, I was like, okay, I don't know. So for some of you, I mean, if you love it, if you like it, like, yeah, I mean, go for it. And don't get me wrong, I'm definitely not the person, never the person to say like there's only one way to rock, right? I mean, you guys enjoy your stuff the way that you enjoy it. I'll enjoy my stuff the way that I enjoy it. But Protect You just isn't one of them. Alone was great, different. Magie, again, a new one of the new songs, just doesn't quite get me. And then Influencer, even though not, I think my favorite song. Um, Man, that battle was just wild. Again, it was just this. It was like this bloody mess, like in the best sense of bloody mess. Like, yeah, I mean, fists were thrown, and it just got. I don't know. It was like nasty and dirty and stanky and just, oof. But I loved it. Um, so that was fun. I really. It was just like the gloves were off and just bare knuckled, you know. So that was good stuff. That was really good stuff. Like, so yeah, that was the set list. Those were the songs. That's kind of how they hit me or didn't hit me. And I guess I can. No, no, no. We'll go with this. So little highlights and just moments during like the MC time. Um, Today is the first day that I've ever heard Misa scream like ah, like she screamed. And the reason being is that during the Omachi night time, Miku was on one side of the stage, like far over to our side where Konami is. And then the rest of the girls were over on the other side, and they began to sort of duke it out. So it was like Miku's turn, and then it was one of the girls' turn. And like as the girls were moving over, Miku's here, and the other girls are moving over. Saiki like yells into the mic, "Kyun Kyun!" And everyone, of course, yells out "Kyun Kyun!" And then the girls go to the other side. So again, all four of them are there, and then there's Miku. And I think Misa thought it was going to be a group effort, but she got caught yelling out like bandmate by herself, so she stopped. So she was like "Ban!" and then she stopped because no one else was doing it, and it was, yeah, it's hard to fathom because you can't imagine Misa screaming. So you would only be able to tell it was Misa screaming because she was doing this and none of the other girls did. So it was just wild. Like it just your brain starts to just like fracture, you know, it starts to like go into into like artifact. It was, yeah, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. It was just, yeah. So then you had Akane doing it, and Akane has a loud voice, so she more than held her own against Miku. So that was great. And you had Kanami's turn. I believe she was last, but Kanami's vocals, um, no, the maids, Michael, the maids themselves said that it's a mini album, like it's an EP. That's what they called it. Whether we call it that or not, that's what they called it. So this album coming up, Epic Narratives, is their first full length since Unseen World, as they put it. Whether we argue for it or not. But so Kanami was she's like getting ready. She's just preparing herself. But if you know how Kanami talks when she's very excited, it's very high pitched and almost like what was my thought when I heard her? Like it's like almost a falsetto scream. I don't know how to explain it. It's just Konami. It's very Konami. And then Miku mimicked her doing that. Um, but that was really funny too. Like I was just really amused. I think a lot of people enjoyed that. So um yeah, that was just so that was really fun. That was a really fun thing to see. Um, and then I think with the other shows, I'm sure it was done as well, but Konami introduced her new guitar. Seeing it, it almost has like this not quite green moss, but a mossy brown kind of color to it. With like, the tiger stripes, and I couldn't quite see all the details, but Konami was saying that, private stock, she picked out this and that and all the parts. So she was really happy about it. I'm sure she wasn't as enthused as she was from the first time she introduced it, but still, she's very excited. She was just getting into it and playing it like as she's introducing it. Um, so yeah, I mean, the girls are always fun. They're always good on stage, and they have such good rapport. Like they just go back and forth. Um, so yeah, so that was that. And here's my thing overall. I enjoyed the show. It wasn't my favorite show. I wouldn't say it's gonna be like the most memorable one, but it's a bandmate show. Um, yeah, she does have to post like full on images, but here's my take, and I'm curious how some of you feel about it. Now, let me get into actually the announcements, because at the end of the show, you did have um, 5 shows announced plus the album, and they showed clips of the videos. So they showed a clip of Memorable, which I think we all knew was going to be on the album. They showed a clip of Shambles, a clip of Bestie, a clip of Protect You, and then they also showed a clip of Show Them, which is the collaboration song with The Warning. And that's going to be a music video. I don't know when it's going to drop. There was no hint about when. Um, and so I don't know when. That's all that I can say. But it was pretty cool. If you guys have seen it online yet, you just have sort of the spotlight in the back. The girls are all lined up with their silhouette. Um, it's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna be pretty cool. I mean, it'll never match up to the experience of being at the Warning show and seeing them all lined up there on stage and singing it. Like the energy of that. Oh man, just the energy of just that visual was just like through the roof. And then as the song started and they just got into it and everyone just playing it, just like just brain synapses just like bursting like fireworks. I mean, just like you were just losing brain cells because you just couldn't comprehend. It was just too much. Like it was just such a cool event. But having said that, like it's a great song. Um, I think live it's so powerful. And of course with all of them, I don't know if and how they'll. Well, I mean, I guess Psyche could sing all the parts unless she is not able to. I'll have to hear it again to see if there are parts that only Danny would be able to sing that maybe Psyche couldn't. But now here's the thing. This is gonna be my specific issue with this album, and it was a little bit that way when I first heard Conqueror. Is that a lot of singles dropped before Conqueror did, and so Conqueror had those singles added to the album. So you had Bubble, you had Glory, you had Endless Story. Were those the three? And so it kind of took away from like that full package. Like for example, the way that I experienced Bandmate's older albums or Unseen World. It was just all fresh and all new, just like unpacking it. But I've already heard 8 songs off of this album. So I'm only going to have fresh ears for 6 songs unless they release another one too. um, so these are the songs that I know. So you have the ones that have music videos, or one of them that will. So again, Memorable, Shambles, Bestie, Protect You, and Show Them. So those are all gonna those have music videos, and then Show Them at some point will drop. I don't know when. But I've also heard Magie, Go Easy, and Brightest Star. So I have heard 8 songs, and some of them a lot. um, out of 14 songs. So there's 14 songs on the album, but knowing that I've heard 8 of them quite a few times with only 6 songs that are going to be new, I'm not sure how it's going to. I know it'll affect my experience. So I can almost guarantee, and this sounds terrible to say, but just from prior experience, it's not going to be my favorite album. Um, just because that's I think that's it's the benefit of going to these shows to experience these new songs before they actually are recorded and released. But also the negative is that you've heard it so much, there isn't that fresh quality when you first, have the cans on. You're just like, like being surprised. Like I love that experience. Let me name the rest of the songs though. There's I almost said toilet. It's Toietmoi. So moi, et moi. Toi. I don't know how to moi. Is it toi et moi? Toi et moi? You and me? Et tu? No. Et tu, Brutus? Forbidden Tale. The One. Letters to You, which sounds like a sad song. Tamaya. And then Get to the Top. And Get to the Top sounds like one of those like really almost like Show Them. The excitement and the enthusiasm and that like that's like that fervor. No, Bandmate is always gonna evolve. They've definitely fallen, I think, into a certain groove. Um, with Kanami, I think finding a certain style that she's comfortable with, but they'll definitely evolve. They'll always be evolving. Um, but having said that, like that's the thing is when I think of the older Bandmate songs, there's an iconic quality. Like I hear it and it's just there's this epicness because it's just right there. I know that's Don't You Tell Me. Like right there, I know that's YOLO. Like right there, I know it's this. But I feel like with their more recent songs, there's nothing, at least for me. And again, at no point do I feel like you have to agree with me. You can disagree completely, that's fine. But with their newer songs, sonically, it doesn't grab me or move me the way that earlier songs did. Um, and that's just how it's going to be. Like, I don't hold that against them. I'm not going to tell them to stop and go back to like their roots or like, oh, you should have like kept on doing it this way, like some people do. I think that's bullshit. And I think artists absolutely have the freedom to explore and to do whatever they want to, and you can follow along with them or not. Um, but yeah, I think musically, I think with their newer stuff, like Magie, Brightest Star, and with Go Easy, like those songs don't quite get me the way the earlier songs do, like Protect You. Um, so I am curious how it's gonna be like with the rest of the new album, how it's gonna be. Like the live shows will always be great because I don't know, it's bandmate. They are an epic band and they are rock stars like through and through. So that won't change. But I do know like with older stuff, like I just connect a lot better with it sonically. It There's this earnestness with certain songs. Again with like YOLO, with NonFiction Days, even Don't You Tell Me. Like there's certain earnestness to the style that I relate to a lot more. Um, but thank you for agreeing and disagreeing. But like I also it is, right? I just don't know how to pronounce that. Um, See, Mike, I disagree with that because I absolutely love Unseen World, but I feel like they changed things up a bit with Unleash, which is actually more in line with their newer songs, with what I've heard with their newer songs. Yeah, if toi et moi, then yes. Um, I think there's tinges of it from Unseen World. There's a bit of that, but it really goes full blown in Unleash, um, which also for me wasn't my favorite album. Um, Although there were songs that I really did enjoy on it. So, but yeah, I don't want to wax on too much about that because that kind of like goes off topic with with this review of the concert. Just to say, I did enjoy the concert. It was great to see the girls again. Um, as per usual, I love the club scene, the venue, just like standing up and sweating and being shoulder to shoulder with people and rocking out. So hall tours are good, hall shows are great, but I like kind of getting into the ring and just sort of wrestling with everyone. But yeah, there is some good news. So the album is coming out. The question now for you guys is which benefit do you want? As there will be different benefits. Let me look them up for you right now so that you guys have some idea before you decide to buy. I wouldn't rush too quickly. Um, but let me just throw this out to you guys so that you guys are aware. I don't think there will be another collaboration this year. I mean, it may come next year and there may be other artists, but um, yeah, I think it was just these two and done. But I'm sure they're open to like other stuff. Let's see. So here are some benefits. Let me just read it out to you. From Amazon Japan, it's a purse. I don't know what the purse actually means, since that can mean different things. HMV has a can magnet, which is like, it's those like steel magnets. Um, I don't know, magnets don't quite work for me. CD Japan has an A4 clear file folder. Yes, as Shay posted, and then Pony Canyon Shop, Kicks Japan has a postcard, which is probably just an image of the album cover, and who knows what the album cover will be. But Epic Narratives, what kind of image does that call for? I'm not quite sure. Um, yeah. Okay, so if you pre-order Bandmade Epic Narratives during the above reservation period, which is July 14th to August 7th, you will receive an early pre-order bonus, Seasoned. So Seasoned is the stage entrance song for the hall tour. Yes, that's something I didn't mention. It was a different entrance song. Pretty simple, straightforward, but I did like it. Um, yeah, that's all I can really say. So that is the bonus CD, is just the stage entrance song. Mm, it's not quite as like straight ahead, right? Unseen World, Conqueror, World Domination. Yeah, Epic Narratives. It goes a bit more vague, I think, than what they've usually done. Just bring it, brand new made. So again, even then, that may have been the influence of like different influences outside of what they're used to. Maybe it's due to collaboration, listening to different stuff. Maybe they were listening to, maybe they were listening to too much Incubus at the time. Because Brandon isn't exactly known for being the most straightforward guy lyrically. So who knows? Yeah. As mentioned, I believe. So there is just the regular CD, but there's also the CD plus DVD slash Blu-ray. Oh no, no, sorry, it's CD, Blu-ray plus the photo book. Um, and this includes again the Blu-ray for the Day of May performance, which yeah, that was a really fun show. That was a really, really fun show. So, um, I don't know. So, are there any questions or any follow-ups that you guys want from me on this? I mentioned the Zep tour. So Nagoya, November 2nd, Osaka, Sunday, November 3rd, and then November 25th, Monday, Zep Haneda, and then 26th, Tuesday, Zep Haneda, same place, back to back. Yeah. Okay. That kind of means nothing. All right. Present if it's a little too arrogant thought. I don't like. Epic narratives. So I guess the question then is what narratives exactly and why is it epic? But you know, I think when you try to, from my experience, when you try to translate things, they never quite capture exactly what the original language says. And so you try to do your best to do either a direct translation or sort of something that encapsulates the idea or the notion of what's being said. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. There isn't really a sense of like forwardness though, right? Like just bring it, world domination, unseen world even Unleash, there was a sense of like moving forward, showing people, like taking things, like really being aggressive. But with epic narratives, it doesn't really necessarily go anywhere in particular direction wise. So, yeah, no, I agree. It does, yeah. The Zep shows November 2nd, November 3rd, November 25th, November 26th. Michael, yes, I did. Thank you very much. But that's for a different time. Yeah. So those are those. Now the interesting thing, I guess I'll talk a little bit about the spin-off. So it says bandmate spin-off Okyuji, medium in summer. And medium, I'm assuming they mean like mid-tempo. And so most of the songs will be in that mid-tempo range. Which would be pretty cool because then you get a lot of songs if you go into sort of ballad and again more mid-tempo rock. Maybe they'll play Chemical Reaction for the first time. That'd be cool. I don't think everyone's a fan of that song, but I think that'd be cool. You would have, you know, at the drop of a hat, Paige would be in there, like Mirage. Yeah, quite a few, quite a few. So that'd be interesting. Smile, yeah, there you go. Memorable, which they've played a fair amount, but there's definitely going to be stuff in there that, like, I would die though if they finally actually played. Good Lord, why can I not remember that song? Oh my gosh, why can I not remember that song? The very last song of Just Bring It. I love that song and I can't remember right now. Somebody's gonna drop it in like 5 seconds. Like one of my favorite songs ever. I'm scrolling down, I'm scrolling down, I'm scrolling down. Decided by Myself. There you go. Secret My Lips, but Decided by Myself is what I was thinking of. Decided by Myself, yeah. Um, yeah, that'd be really cool. And then if they go way back into like, I don't know, I really think they should do a concert with like New Beginning, um, Love, Passion, Matador. I think that would be the concert that would get SJ to Japan, right? SJ, New Beginning, and then Love, Passion, Matador, and then yeah, maybe even Made in Japan. Wouldn't that get you? Wouldn't that get you over here? Oh my God. That'd be amazing. I would I would sell quite a bit of my body. I don't know if that sounds wrong or not, but I would sell quite a bit of my body to go to a show that had Made in Japan, New Beginning, Love Passion Matador. And I know SJ loves this. Come on, man. We'll fundraise. Let everybody. We're gonna get SJ to Japan. Okay? Let's get SJ to Japan. Yeah. All right. Uh, so yeah, that is what went down tonight. And I hope even though you guys couldn't make it out, like I said, man, what if I do? But that means that you're gonna have to pay for the rest of my life. I'll pay for the divorce, but you pay for our rooming together. Yeah. Good stuff, good stuff. Yep. Um, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about outside of the out of the show today, because this is my weekend, but I don't want to go too far off because this is in regards to bandmates Okyuji today. But just very quickly, and then I'll end it because you guys need to go, I need to go, and I'm gonna try to work on some stuff. Tomorrow is a holiday, so I'm very thankful for that. But yeah, just slight excursion out of bandmate. A couple days ago, I got to see Gangire for the first time. Gangire is another band that I like. I absolutely love. Um, yeah, like I had heard their stuff and I'd really fallen in love with the vocalist Nana. But yeah, I picked up quite a few CDs for people here and there. But Incitement, Gangire, saw them at Shibuya Cyclone. Great show, good seeing them and just picking this stuff up. And then, yeah, today was Bandmade, and then tomorrow I'll be seeing Hades. But there are quite a few more shows um, from different places, different bands. And just for anybody who is actually here in Japan, I'm going to actually list them out very quickly, just in case you don't know, and just in case you're not sure what to do or where to go. Now, tonight there was Zero Fest with Dim Ray's Market Shop Store, The Number Zero, broken by this Scream, Gangire, a few other bands, but that's that. Um, at Crescendo, Alvarez, a band that I like, they're really cool. Shaberanakereba ii onna. Shaberanakereba ii onna. Japanese band, all girl. They're a cool band too. Kakumeroic. Kakumeroic. Another three-piece girl band. My Little Devil, a few other bands. They play tonight. But that's tonight, and that was just for anybody who couldn't maybe make it out to Bandmade. But tomorrow, just for those of you, again, who are still here and maybe looking for a show to go to, I'll be going to a show at Sugamo Shishio with Gekidan Moyashi, Helldump, and Hades. So it is the three of them. And as you guys know, I'm a big Hades supporter. But there are other shows. One is with Dim Rays, Kilt Meltland, Palineo, and another band. I do not know who they are, but they are performing as well at. Why can I not see? Look for it online. Look for it online. Dim Rays, Kilt Meltland, Shinjuku Anti-Knock. So that's tomorrow as well. And then you have another show with Aya, Eita, Shoujo S, which Yuri from Hades plays for once in a while. Not tomorrow though. And then a band that is up and coming that a lot of you seem to like, Neki. because I believe they're a bit reminiscent of Bandmade in terms of just being very poppy but rock. So yeah, those are three shows that are tomorrow. For those of you who are interested, who aren't sure, if you have questions about that, then you can go ahead and comment below this video, and I'll try to get back to you with information if you would like to attend one of those shows. Otherwise, it's always good seeing people I see quite often. Alan, Mike, Derek, Tony, Brian, Gerald, a few others. Howard from Baka Broadcast. Didn't realize he wanted to catch up with me, but I saw him today with Jan, and it was his first show. It was at the yeah. You guys probably met them if you saw the pre-show video that we did. But yeah, more to come, and there will be interviews. As for Bandmade, nothing for the next month and a half. So relax. You guys can go ahead and look at all the old pics like you used to, or that you usually do, and just enjoy yourselves. But go out there, search for other stuff, look for other bands to get into, because there's so much out there. Yeah, Alan, I'll definitely see you again. Definitely see you again for sure. So it's good seeing you. But all right, guys, I'm gonna leave it here. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, what's remaining of it. Because I guess you guys just do have the Sunday. And since I have tomorrow off, I will be working on a video, interview with Hara Whiskey Dust, and going to a Haiti show. So that'll be fun. But yeah, thank you guys. Hope you guys are well. Stay well. And I don't know, guys. Please send your thoughts and prayers to this thing right here, to this thing right here. Sorry, that was really unnecessary. You guys, I'll see you later, guys. Take care. Bye. Thank you.